While scrolling YouTube, I found something crazy. Simple slideshows pulling in millions of views with barely any effort. One channel has just 39 videos and over 80K subscribers. Another, 64K subs. Same style. Both making $1,000 to $5,000 a month. And yes, their videos play ads, which means they're still monetized even after the July 15 update. This is what their videos look like.
Have you ever had that feeling that someone was in your room, even though you were sure you were alone?
In this video, I'm going to recreate this style and show you how to do it with AI tools, step by step. So make sure to like and watch the full video. So the first thing I wanted to figure out was, is this kind of content actually monetizable or not? A lot of people think you need some expensive paid tool to check if a channel is monetized, but that's not true. There's actually a free AI tool you can use. It's called Gemini AI. You can just ask it directly, is this type of YouTube channel monetizable, and give it the name of the channel. In this case, Gemini looked into it and said yes. So next, I asked Gemini what other topics I could explore with a similar style. It gave me a bunch of suggestions, and one that really stood out was this genre called cosmic horror. So I selected it as my channel niche. Then I went ahead and asked Gemini to give me some actual video ideas for that topic. Out of all the ideas Gemini gave me, one really caught my attention. If you see the moon smile, run. Creepy, right? I loved it. So I asked Gemini AI to write a narration in that same eerie style. Now that we've got our script, it's time to bring it to life. Head over to ElevenLabs and look for a voice that's calm and perfect for storytelling, something that really fits that mysterious, suspenseful vibe. Just go to the Voices tab, pick one that feels right, then paste in all the parts of the narration. Once everything's in, hit Generate. You've got your voiceover ready to go. Now that we've got the voiceover, we'll need some images for the video. If you look at similar channels, you'll notice they use simple, flat-style images, usually minimalist, with one solid color on a dark background. You could just do a quick Google search to find these types of images, but don't worry, you don't have to spend time hunting for them yourself. I actually found a super easy way to generate them using a free AI tool. Here's how. First, go to Google and download an image that has the kind of style you're going for. Something like this male and female symbol works great as a reference. Then, head over to Google's AI tool called Whisk. In the prompt box, describe what you want. For example, let's generate an image of a man reading a book. Use the words like flat minimal style, pictograph, black background, and the color of the character you want inside your prompt. Most of these channels stick to red or white, but I'm going with yellow. It's totally up to you. Now, expand the panel and upload the image you downloaded earlier. Use it as both the subject and style references. This helps the AI better understand the exact look you're aiming for. Set the aspect ratio to 1:1 and click Generate. You'll start getting clean, minimal images just like the ones those channels use. Tweak your prompt as needed and generate all the visuals you need for your video. It's quick and way more consistent than searching around online. If you see an image you like, just click on the Refine button. It'll clean it up a bit more and give you the option to download it. Go ahead and generate all the images you need for your video using this method. Once you've got everything, we're ready to jump into the editing process. Alright, now let's move on to the editing. Start by importing all the images you generated, along with the voiceover, into your editing software. I'm using CapCut for this because it's super beginner-friendly and easy to work with. First, drag and drop the voiceover onto your timeline. Then, start placing the images at the parts where they match the narration. Make sure to resize each image so it looks clean and balanced. Usually keeping them centered on the screen works best. Once you've placed all the visuals to match the voiceover, your timeline should look something like this.
This is an urgent informational broadcast from the Department of Celestial Integrity. If you observe a smiling moon, you are instructed to discontinue all direct observation from it. We repeat.
So right now, we've got a basic slideshow with a basic voiceover, but let's give it some style. First, we're going to make the voiceover sound like it's coming from an old VHS tape. To do that, click on the voiceover in your timeline, then look to the right side and select Voice Changer. Scroll through the options and find the one called Tube TV. That's the effect you want. Go ahead and apply it.
This is an urgent informational broadcast from the Department of Celestial Integrity. If you observe a smiling moon, you are instructed to discontinue all direct observation from it.
Next, let's add that static noise effect to really sell the retro vibe. Click on the Music tab, then head over to Sound Effects. Search for static noise and pick one that fits. Just make sure it's not too loud or distracting. Now drag it onto the timeline and stretch it to cover the entire voiceover section. Now let's move on to adding subtitles. Click on Text, then choose Auto Subtitles. CapCut will automatically generate the subtitles for your voiceover. Once they're ready, head over to the Templates tab and pick a clean, minimal subtitle style. I'm using this one here. It should look something like this.
Its perceived presence. Do not speak of it.
Now switch back to basic settings and change the font to something with a classic feel. I recommend Arno Pro, but any vintage style font works. Then reduce the font size to around 7. That gives it a subtle retro look. Let's also position the subtitles a bit higher on the screen. To do that, first select all your images and turn them into a compound clip. That way you can move them all at once instead of individually. Now adjust their Y position by adding 200 pixels. Do the same for the subtitles. Select them and bump the Y value by adding 200 pixels as well. Now everything is in the perfect spot. Lastly, let's give it a retro video effect. Go to the Effects tab and search for TV lines. Once you find it, drag and drop the effect onto your video, then stretch it across the whole timeline. Sometimes the black background from the AI-generated images doesn't quite blend well with the rest of the video, especially if you're going for a consistent retro vibe. Here's a quick fix. Import one of the images, crop out a clean section of just the background, and place it on a new layer below everything else on the timeline. This way you'll have a seamless matching background behind all your visuals. Now let's add a simple intro and outro effect to make the video feel complete. First, stretch out that background layer so it covers the beginning and end of the timeline. Then find a noisy static sound effect, trim a small section of it, and place it right at the start of the video. Next, head over to the Animations tab. For the intro, choose the Glitch Intro animation. For the outro, use the old TV animation to give it that perfect VHS shutdown look. Finally, copy that static sound effect and place it at the very end of the video, right over the outro. And just like that, your video has a clean start, smooth finish, and a fully polished retro atmosphere.
This is an urgent informational broadcast from the Department of Celestial Integrity. If you observe a smiling moon, you are instructed to discontinue all direct observation from it. We repeat, do not look at the moon. Its visible presence is to be considered non-existent. Furthermore, do not acknowledge its perceived presence. Do not speak of it. Do not reference its form or its expression. All discussion is now considered a compliance breach. At nightfall, all outdoor activities must cease. Exposure to direct lunar illumination is strictly prohibited. Contact, even brief, may result in immediate Phase 1 perceptual drift. Symptoms of perceptual drift include